I am very late to the party on this one, but right before Fire Emblem Engage came out, I made a video talking about Rosado. Not knowing very much about the character going into that video, but knowing enough, the possibility of Rosado being, I'll just come out and say it, trans, was a very legit one. Now, I don't want to go too deep into the details. You can watch that video if you really want to know, but unlike that video, I am actually making this one after the game was released. How about that? Crazy. With Fire Emblem's shaky history with characters like this, I was admittedly nervous, but very hopeful that, hey, maybe this time it'll actually work out. So, did it, work out?
But I realized I love being different. And I want everyone to know being different is amazing.
You're saying being different is good?
Not just good, amazing. Your differences are what make you unique. What make you, you.
Oh.
Guess you're right. You've been nothing but nice to me and I've been kinda arrogant. It was wrong of me to obsess over being cuter than everyone else. I'm sorry.
That's alright. There's no shame in aspiring to be the best. I have one way of thinking about the world, and you have another. We're allowed to disagree, aren't we? And to respect our differences?
Respect our differences. Yeah, of course.
Oh.
I want a picture of you and me together. I'll add myself later.
But wouldn't a simple self-portrait be much more attractive on balance? I should think so.
Maybe, but that's not what I'm going for. My own cuteness isn't important for this one.
I beg your pardon?
I want a picture with you, Louis. I want a way to remember my friend when he's not around.
Oh.
Smiles, compliments, all the ways people enjoy my work. Every time I hear someone liked a drawing, I'm that much happier and more motivated.
Oh my god, this is literally all I've wanted with a character like this.
If you have a spare moment, there's something I'd like to ask you.
Let me guess. You want to know the secret. How'd I get to be so cute? Sorry, I don't have an answer for you. I've always been adorable. I think it's destiny.
No, that's not my question.
Aww.
Oh, thank God, yes! Yes, there's later and more comedic aspects too. They did it! Oh, they finally did it! There's a gender non-conforming character. I'm just gonna say GNC from here on out, okay? And they're written really well! Yes! Yes! Oh, God, I need to sit down. My head's spinning. Oh, wait, I'm already sitting down. So, color me surprised, but on the problematic scale, I personally, at least, think Rosado is about as low as you can get. Now, like I said, I'm not in love with everything about him, but words like insensitive, hurtful, or some other third thing are some of the last words that I would use to describe Rosado. He's a guy and not trans, but he's still feminine, proud, and unafraid to be who he is. Yeah, he talks about being cute a lot, and sure, some of his supports can get just a little grating, but I'm thoroughly impressed with what the writers pulled off here. Yet another character with really nice depth that's gonna be written off because Engage writing is bad or whatever. If you saw my Alfred video, go watch my Alfred video, you'll know that I love the character writing in this game, so me not being so happy about people dismissing it, not a surprise. So if we look at Rosado as a whole, in the story, during supports, whatever, and listen to what he says, what is the game trying to get across with this character? While there are certainly people who can build up to this thesis like crazy, I play curvy, I like simple, so I'm going to summarize it into one simple sentence. That sentence being, if you enjoy the video, please consider giving it a like,
Likes?
comment, and ringing the notification bell after subscribing. And if you want to see it 2 days early, check out my Patreon in the description. Rather, that one sentence is, be proud to be who you are, no matter how different you are. Sure, sometimes Rosado can get a bit ahead of himself with this, like with Mauvier and Marin, but by the end of even those, he's much more supportive and friendly.
As for cute, I have little experience. Please see my reaction as uneducated rather than rude.
Oh, that's it. I think I get it now.
Get what?
You're uninitiated. You haven't developed your cute sense. No wonder you're a bit of a grump. But if it's okay with you, I'd like us to make a promise to each other.
What kind of promise?
Once the war is over, once there's peace, let's make it a point to broaden your horizons.
Once there is peace, you say. You are a strange one. I think you would be more fulfilled if you spent your days with other people.
I'm not making this promise with them, though. I'm making it with you.
I appreciate that.
It's touching. Well, I think the Mafia one is touching. If I never have to hear that support with Marion again, I'll live happy. But even looking at Rosado when he's your enemy, you hear a lot less about the cuteness, but you still get a very supportive character. Rosado, and most of the retainers towards their respective lords, honestly, is more than just a retainer. He's Hortensia's friend. He sticks by her and supports her because, well, that's just what he does. And it's honestly kind of nice that there's no romantic motivation behind his actions. Aside from Alir, this game has no paired endings. So he's just doing all of this because he's outgoing, kind, and yeah, he loves hearing people praise him too, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. He works hard at being cute and supportive so that he can be rewarded for his hard work, make people happy, and maybe, just maybe, open people's minds to accepting other people's differences.
The world is filled with so much beauty. Most people only get to see a little of it.
True. It's impossible for people to see everything on their own.
That's such a waste, isn't it? There are forms of beauty out there we don't even have names for. Unique, precious things. If I can show people even a little more of the diversity in the world, I'll be happy. It'll mean I've helped build a world where folks accept and appreciate each other's differences.
What I love so much about the way that Rosado is handled is that nobody ever questions why he likes being and acting cute. People notice his cuteness a lot, sure, but it's never, wait, dude, is that cute? Or, hold on, you're a guy? I can say from firsthand experience of the war zone that was the comment section of my previous Rosado video that there were people who wanted Rosado to be a guy just for reasons like that, but no, everyone is super accepting of Rosado and the way that he is.
I guess it's different for you. You're from the village of the fair folk.
Sure am.
I hear people there can go all night long and not even have shadows under their eyes. I've even heard you can eat and drink to your heart's content without getting full. Gotta tell ya, I'm jealous. I wish I could do that.
I'm relieved you're only jealous about it.
Huh? What do you mean?
Some folks think it's a bit creepy, actually.
How ridiculous. Don't pay any mind to them. They're just too proud to admit that they're as jealous as me.
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
Now, that being said, you can tell from the way he describes his experiences, and the experiences of anyone GNC, that bigotry is still out there, but he uses it as a motivation to find a peaceful way to stop that way of thinking, and just, God, I love it so much. Yeah, a lot of this video is drawing from the Rosado Lapis support, and the whole thing could just be me gushing about how good the Rosado Lapis support is, and the video itself would still be fine. Okay, fine, you've convinced me.
What?
Let's dive into this support, and, more to the point, let me gush about how much I adore the Rosado Lapis support. C support starts out simple enough, Lapis calling Rosado cute, Rosado taking the compliment as he does, but very quickly, things get a bit more personal.
I admire that. What's your secret?
Not sure I've got one. I guess I just try to be my best self. I think about who I am inside and I bring it out.
Yeah?
Sure. Appearances matter, but true beauty is what's inside. Even the most fashionable ensemble is useless if you don't feel it. You've got to believe in you.
What Rosado's saying won't set the world on fire or anything. Oh, wow, cuteness is on the inside, not the outside. Guess my clock and calendar are wrong because they don't say Saturday morning. Comment down below if you're watching this on a Saturday morning. But Lapis admits to having no self-confidence, and despite what Rosado says, she insists that she isn't cute and that there's a lot about herself that bothers her. Rosado agrees to talk it over with her at another time, and the C support ends. Good start. Now, the B support, that's where a huge chunk of praise comes in. So let's get to some real gushing. Expanding from the C support, Lapis asks Rosado how he got his confidence. And already we have a humdinger of a line right here. I think it must have been how I was raised. This single line by itself pushes Rosado's character far beyond anything GNC. He was allowed to be who he wanted to be because he was encouraged throughout his life. Lapis even mentions at the end that everything he's talked about resonates with her, despite the differences of their issues. Then the support goes on, and it just hands out all these W's for free.
I was born in a village near the Lake of Mystery. Some people call it the Village of the Fair Folk. It's a place of wonder, beauty beyond the silly expectations that come with stuff like gender.
Wow, I've never heard of such a place.
Everyone accepts everyone there. However you see and present yourself, you're beautiful. That was my normal growing up. It was a big shock when I left, seeing how different I was, but I realized I love being different. And I want everyone to know being different is amazing.
You're saying being different is good?
Not just good, amazing. Your differences are what make you unique, what make you, you.
I'll admit to thinking that whole Village of the Fairfolk thing was a little weird at first, but wow, does it start making more sense when you see it through the lens of some people call it the Village of the Fairfolk. Huge emphasis on some people. There are a couple of lines in other supports that mention the place too, and while none of them are necessarily harmful, if the reason this isolated village filled with people that bigots don't like has a name like that, and has rumors like that, you can put the pieces together. And yeah, I know, Rosado talks about being from that Village of the Fairfolk too, but that's Rosado more so saying things in a way that other people can understand. Yeah, anyway, Rosado talking about being accepted and how his attitude, clothing, and all that jazz were his normal, and seeing how different he was motivated him to show others how amazing being different is. That's all pretty heavy stuff, and the way that it's presented, happily and full of cute vibes, fits Rosado to a T. Through example, he is quite literally showing how having an identity, different as it is, fills him with confidence. And while it's a corny line, welcome to Engage, the follow-up of him adding that it makes him even happier if it helps Lapis discover herself pushes it even further. Rosado is literally making someone happy by talking about what makes him unique and letting that resonate with someone else. Genuinely beautiful. The A support focuses more on Lapis rather than Rosado, so it's less relevant to this video. I won't be gushing as much. It's still excellent, and actually hearing Lapis vent about how she sees herself and taking steps to overcome that, it's great stuff. But to keep the focus on Rosado, this bit has always stuck out to me.
I end up kind of fixating on my weirdnesses. That makes it hard to feel confident.
None of this sounds bad to me. You know tons about plants. You're super strong. That's great.
When you put it that way, they almost do sound like positives, but...
Still hard to talk about sometimes, though, isn't it?
That last line rings so true, and I love that from that point, Rosado takes the conversation into a brighter direction, which is what allows Lapis to feel more confident in herself. Again, it's an amazing support. Please, check it out in full. Now, to get more clear, fluffy standard, something interesting about Rosado that isn't related to his supports but still fits the video is his personal skill, Stunning Smile. If the opposing enemy is male, they suffer avoid -20. That's not a bad skill, and while, again, I could just squarely go into the gameplay functionality, really want to, holy moly, that was a big point of discussion prior to release. It doesn't really affect much of his character, but unintentionally, to me at least, I think it helps Rosado being positive GNC representation, because not once does anybody in this game actually think Rosado is a woman. Everyone knows Rosado identifies as a guy, so by extension, so would enemies, and they still suffer the avoid penalty. And with this skill being named Stunning Smile, it can't be misconstrued into anything other than enemy guys think this guy is cute. Personal skills relating to character is something I love looking into. Like Self-Improver on Alfred. Strike +2, not much. When you learn about Alfred, sad times. Plus, with a good enough weapon, Strike +2 is plenty, but we're getting off topic now. Speaking of Alfred, though, this video isn't meant to quite be like the Alfred video. Go watch the Alfred video and how I constantly bring up supports to back up my points. This one is a lot less of a gush fest because, simply put, I like Alfred more. And nothing wrong with Rosado, aside from some annoying supports. Hardly unique problem to him. Although that said, I really want Rosado's clothes. I'm so jealous. But what I like about Rosado is more of what he represents, more than the character himself. Again, I do really like Rosado, but after years of the rough LGBT oversimplification, stereotyping, and what the people call bad feels, With all-around good rep and Fire Emblem being rare, the only one that I honestly really like is Lucas from Shadows of Valencia, this is really nice. I'm not saying Rosado is LGBT, but GNC is under a similar, maybe even the same depending on who you ask, umbrella. It even has a rad acronym too! Rearrange those letters and you get GCN, like the GameCube! Let's go GameCube! Love the GameCube! Oh my god, wow. I really sidetracked there for a second. My point is, Rosado rules, and I am so thrilled that the writing for this character also rules. Rosado is not perfect by any means, but I do not hold that against him. Not everybody can be Alfred, not everybody can be Panette, okay? But to see this character portrayed so positively is a great change of pace. His entire character isn't about the way that he presents himself and being GNC, but that helps him feel more nuanced, like, you know, a character. And if nothing else,
That deserves a like.
don't forget to comment and subscribe too. Thanks, guys. And bye. Thanks, guys. Thanks Biohazard and Dips Fiora for being head-patting Fluffle fans on my patrons. You're the best.